Local gun shops say that they've been busy ever since last week's override of North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper's veto of Senate Bill 41. This is the bill repealing the requirement to get a permit from a local sheriff before buying a handgun. You'll remember Governor Cooper vetoed that bill once it reached his desk.
The Republican majority, along with a handful of Democrats in the General Assembly, made it law anyway, voting to override that veto. WCNC Charlotte's Julia Kaufman shows us how that's impacted the process for buying a pistol.
Hyatt Gun Shop packed on a Monday night. Workers say it was so crowded over the weekend, customers had to be one in, one out.
We're going to have a couple of weeks where it's really busy, but South Carolina, Virginia, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, they all have this same law that we have here. They don't have lines out the door. It just takes a little while for it to calm down and business will get back to more normal.
Shop owner Larry Hyatt says most customers they're seeing were waiting weeks for their pistol purchase permit from the Mecklenburg County Sheriff. Now with the new law, they just have to clear the FBI background check at the store, which Hyatt says can take 1 to 5 days.
Well, it's a little harder for us because we're doing more background checks here than what the Sheriff's Department used to do them. So we did them for rifles and shotguns, but now we do them for handguns too.
While the law change is making things busier in here, one senator tells me he's worried about its effect outside of the store.
It opens up a giant loophole when it comes to private sale of guns. So if you are an individual and you want to sell your gun to your neighbor or someone down the street or a coworker, well, now you're no longer obligated to perform a background check before you make that transfer of that firearm.
That's because the old law required someone being privately sold or gifted a pistol to first get a permit from their sheriff. Now, the pistol purchase permit doesn't exist.
Senate Bill 41 does nothing to strengthen the public safety of North Carolinians. It actually takes us a giant step backwards.
Mecklenburg County Senator Mujtaba Mohammed also argues federal background checks aren't as thorough as the sheriff's. Hyatt disagrees because they now must be run for every handgun purchase, whereas sheriff permits lasted for 5 years.
We really needed this change.
The law calls for state agencies to launch a campaign to promote safe storage of guns and give out gun locks. And it allows concealed carry permit holders to carry on private school campuses during church service. Julia Kaufman, WCNC Charlotte.
In the meantime, we are seeing some state senators pushing for more gun control following last week's veto override. Democrats filed a new bill today to reintroduce a state-level pistol permit requirement rather than the recently repealed county-level requirement. The bill proposes the new process go through the State Bureau of Investigations instead of the local sheriff's offices. This Democrat-backed bill does face an uphill battle, though, with a Republican-controlled House and Senate.